So there's still some things that you need to investigate. How clearly have you looked at your belief or understanding of time?
You mentioned this early on that it's an important topic. I,
Is
I I get that there is just this here now, the present, as ephemeral as that is.
but I feel the but every
It doesn't have a depth of resonance that causes a shift. It's
yeah.
an intellectual understanding, but I'm not riding the bike.
Okay, so you haven't delved into it deeply enough. That's all. That's all. You've just kind of gone, yep, that makes, yeah, that's logical. But have you experienced there's no such thing as time?
There's just this.
Isn't there just this?
That is that's vivid. Yeah,
Yep. So
it's the automatic content being supplied.
the trick is to, it's embodying, I don't even like using that word, but it's embodying the knowing. Um, that can be a thrower. Mm. Mm. Is there actually anything that you can be aware of? Yeah, either in your immediate space, or is there anything that you can be aware of that you can look at and you can say with absolute certainty that thing that I'm looking at is approximately X amount of years old?
Yes.
Yeah, might be your laptop, it could be whatever,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay. And is that true?
On one level, yes.
Okay,
It was
good. All right, so right here, right now, let's say it's your laptop, right?
yeah.
I'm assuming it's a laptop. Let's say it's your laptop. Yeah. Right here, right now, you're looking at that laptop. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the mind says, yep, that's a couple of years old, whatever, right? That's a couple of years old. Yeah. Okay. So now we skip the mind for a moment and go from your absolute direct experience, your real experience, which is always and only your current direct experience. Yeah. That laptop that you're observing right now, yeah. If the mind says, "Yep, it's a couple of years old," compared to what? Right here, right now.
That would be the comparison.
Yeah, but compared to what?
Compared to right here, right now. I thought you meant the span of time was from here to the past.
If the this, oh, this is a real, uh, you're looking at the computer right now. You're looking at the laptop right now. All right. Our normal sense of thought around it would be, especially given I've asked the question, yeah, it's a couple of years old, right? And you're looking at it right here, right now. Okay, there it is. And you're literally looking at it. You might be looking at the keys, just scouring around the screen of the laptop. You're looking at it. Yeah. Normal course of thinking around that would be, yeah, that's a couple of years old. And what I'm asking you is compared to what? Right here, right now, there it is. And the mind kicks in and says, oh, yeah, it's a couple of years old. And I'm asking, from your direct experience, absolutely right here, right now, compared to what? It's 2 years old compared to what? It's being experienced absolutely right here, right now.
Yeah, it's equivalent to the desk beneath it.
Yeah,
They're
whatever.
all here right now.
Yeah. So time, age, compared to what? You when you look at that laptop, right? You do not see the laptop that's here now, right? And at the same time, see the laptop that was here 2 years ago. You do not. There's just this that you're seeing now,
Right.
and it's the
Pushing us back.
mind, right? So it's the mind that steps in and makes up a story about, oh yeah, but it's 2 years old because of blah 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 and blah and blah. But in your direct experience, right here, in your direct experience, not in the, not in the conceptual one, in your direct experience, right here, right now, yeah, that laptop that you are looking at is 2 years old compared to what?
Yeah, it's just here.
Yes.
It is so easy to be enveloped and taken over by the relative story of it. And I mean, there's a purpose for that,
Yeah,
but
yeah, but
for what our purposes here in our topic,
you've got to
is
see through that.
to see that it's just here, equivalent to the phone. The phone might be newer, but that becomes immaterial. It's all just here.
No, yeah, there's no newer or older.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so age disappears. So let's a really good one, yeah. A um, what do you call them? Can't think of the name. You'll be able to help me. People that find archaeologists. So they come across these bones that are, they're claiming to be 250 million years old, and they're from such and such a dinosaur. Yeah, yeah. Those. Yeah, and I mean that's a classic, right? Compared to what? Compared to what? They're 250 million years old. Compared to what? What's the reference point that we give an age? What's the
The answer would be right now, but as you're pointing out, right now is totally ephemeral. But in the
Yeah,
relative story, that their point is made within the story, but in the truth of the moment, it makes no sense.
right. So those apparently 250 million year old uh, um, petrified bones, okay, that the archaeologist has just unearthed with his little paintbrush, and he's like, oh, yeah, they're bursting into existence right here, right now. The bones haven't been laying there for 250 million years.
You mean that literally?
They're coming into it. They're literally bursting into existence now.
So what we imagine of the dinosaur world is imagination, but are you saying that there was no being that created those bones?
I'm saying that. No, I'm saying much more than that. What I'm saying is that there is one being that creates everything consistently and continuously anew right now.
And whatever the stories we have about the dinosaur age is immaterial to this present, the reality of the moment.
The point is, the real question there is time real?
In my
That's the real
personal experience,
question.
no. In my personal experience of right now, there is just right now.
Right. Then if that's absolutely seen, Warren disappears.
Yeah.
There is no Warren.
There's
Because
just
Warren,
and stuff appearing in it.
well, Warren is made up of time. And time is imagined. Time is imagined. And because time is accepted, Warren's image is then accepted. The idea of Warren is then accepted. Because all Warren is, all Warren is memory. And we take the memory to be who and what I am. And the memory pertains to an imagined time.
It's interesting that I'm getting the same effect right now from your pointing towards the present in terms of time as I've had when I was following like watching the body happen on its own.
Yeah.
The one as a controller disappears.
Yeah.
By watching the physicality as much as with this time moment, the time explanation.
Yeah.
And it does the same thing. It makes the Warren invisible.
So that's animating the body is the same thing that animates or creates or brings into existence, if you like, that supposed 250 million year old bone. Now, really difficult for mind, dualistic thinking, to get its head around that. You're quite factual and logical, and I get that, and I think that helps you. But it's still really difficult to get the mind around that, and you can't. But you can get your direct experience around it. Absolutely, totally. The problem is we're so dependent on this. It's our tool. It's our friend most of the time. It's what gets me through the world. We depend on it so much that we're reluctant to let it go completely.
And just defining where it has its place is seeming to be significant for me because I'm a writer by profession. I explain things in writing, so there's a lot of intellectual consideration all the time, and yet I'm still so engaged by non-duality, which goes beyond the mind. But how do I have them both without confusing myself?
You can't. You can't. But see, look, it's not you doing anything when you're engaging in the world or writing.
Yeah.
Or speaking to somebody or writing something or a brilliant thought comes to mind or you're not doing any of that.
Yeah,
and I mean zip. Yeah. Nada. You're not doing a thing. Just like you're not doing anything with the body. It's doing it. The body's, there's something else. There's something else going on here that we don't, that we completely overlook. Why? Because we're stuck in the illusion that I'm a separate, finite individual. I have free will. I'm in control and I'm rowing this boat through this universe. It's me doing it. And it's not true. It's absolutely not true. There's not one skerrick of truth in that. Zero. And that needs to be seen. That needs to be seen. It's in the seeing of that. It's in the seeing of what is actually really taking place. And only you can see that. Only you can see what's really actually taking place. It's in the seeing that the false drops, the illusion drops. It's like, oh my God, drops, it drops, it drops. And then there'll just be what's left. What is real? What is real? What is real? The only thing that's real, the only thing that you know to be a fact. There's only one thing you know. One thing you know to be a fact. What's that?
That I know, that I'm aware
That I am.
That I am. Yes, another way to say it. Yeah.
That you know for a fact. Because you cannot say I am not. You'd have to bloody well be there to say I am not. I am. Yeah. That you know. And you go, okay, what is that I am? I'm conscious and aware. I'm aware and I'm conscious that I am. I'm experiencing I am.
And then a thought comes up, I need to finish this job by 7 a.m. Okay, I'm moving over to my computer and I'm starting to work.
Done. You're not doing any of that. That's just happening.
Yeah.
It's like you observe the body, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just like you start to observe the body, just kind of, it really kind of, it's fantastic when you actually really start to watch
Oh,
the
yeah.
body.
That's been a really good pointer for me.
It's wonderful, right? When you really start to see that, yeah, the next thing to become aware of is the fact that every single solitary thought
Yeah.
that you have, or every word that gets verbalized out of your mouth is also not being done by you.
I have tastes of that for sure.
Yeah. So like this is where the inquiry needs to be. This is where you need to be looking. Not in the head, not in the intellect, trying to piece it together and try and understand. You go to your direct experience right here, right now, and investigate that. Investigate there. Because anywhere else you're going to investigate, you're going to be lost in the world of concepts, ideas, beliefs, dreams. You'll be lost in there. And ultimately, there's no answer there.